Hi everyone and welcome back to CSharpCorner MVP show. I'm your host Simon as always. But what is not as always is that we are streaming on a different day. Can you believe it? For the very first time, I have messed up. So, for some of you who have been joining our C Sharp MVP show, you know that we stream these shows on every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern. I mean, even if you're not streaming, but whenever we do, we always stream it on Wednesdays. But for some reason, I don't know, on the graphics, I put up January 23rd, which turns out to be today. And the only reason we are doing it today because the guest of the show today was. Very active, and he was there to tell me, "Hey Simon, we have to go live in 10 minutes. Where are you?" So kudos to him for reminding me about today's live show. And I'm really excited for this live show today because we're being joined by Saravanan. He's a complete rock star. If you come from the southern part of the India, you know that he's very active in the community, not just in India. He loves to speak on Azure and Azure IoT specifically in different community groups, meetups, and we're really happy to have him as a C Sharp Corner MVP in our community. I was going through his profile and I realized that this gentleman has joined C Sharp Corner back in 2014 on September 10, which means he has been a part of community for almost a decade now. Which is absolutely amazing, and I'm really excited. So, without any further ado, let's bring the guy, the rock star about Azure IoT, Mr. Sarvanan. Hi, Sarvanan. Welcome to the MVP show.
Yeah, hi Stefan. Hi, actually, it's been actually really great to be here in this evening with you, and it's been really amazed to present my topic against T-shirt on MVP show in T-shirt TV as well. Actually, thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Sarvanan. Thanks to you too for all that you do for the community, right? I personally love the C Sharp MVP show because here we get to go ahead and have a chit chat and talk to the MVPs who have been contributing a lot to the community. Sarvanan, let me ask you. I ask this to everyone, all the MPs that we host in this show is that how did you come to know about C Sharp Corner, and do you still remember the very first blog or article that you published?
Yeah, actually, it's been around 10 years before actually when I
Mm-hmm.
was completed my college studies actually. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I was been joining my first job in my in an organization called Tech Mahindra. Okay, during that time I was been a fresher and I want to learn more new things actually. That time only you also know that a lot of stuff related to IoT and robotics was actually coming into action in the market of information technology. So actually, I thought actually I can take some and actually I was referring some more communities like CSharp Corner and everything. Actually, has been that time actually this is CSharp Corner has been widely used for referring some articles and blogs. Yeah, yeah. If you have any doubt in our programming or anything, actually we used to see CSharp Corner articles and blogs which really help us to solve our real-time issues in our projects as well. Actually. So that time, actually, I thought actually when I asked my seniors or my colleagues, they told actually you can also write the blogs or articles and contribute yourself to them actually. So a decade before actually, as I told actually 10 years before I started writing the things actually slowly because that time I was a beginner and actually I actually been written actually some small blogs and I've published in C Sharp Corner during the time, but the blogs got dejected for some reasons actually. Yeah, initially, and then I learned from my mistake. It's correct actually. If you do mistakes, actually, we can learn from it and we can become an expert on it actually. So I learned from those things, and I've been actually for past 2 to 3 years I've been contributing continuously for this bishop the order via articles for articles blogs and even for forum questions I've been answering regularly for nowadays actually. So it's become a daily routine for me to go inside bishop corner website, look something if anyone posted any query in forum we need to answer them actually. It's like actually helping each other actually, and it's also like learning from someone's questions as well actually, which are we faced in our projects of which is running the real time in our day-to-day life. So that's how actually this created as a hobby for me now actually and being
Yeah, that's
on
good.
digital effect. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you
That's
get
all.
addicted to it, right? It's just like, it becomes your hobby, right? When you get up in the morning, you go to visit a website, you see if there's any question, and if you see there's any question you can help out with, you really get excited. I've
Yeah,
been there. I also started this way after I started when I was in my graduation, so I can definitely relate to your story of going to C Sharp Corner platform. And I still remember when my first article got published and I got a notification. That feeling was really good.
really amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Because after 10 articles, I have my first article got published.
Yeah. So yeah, they're kind of little strict about publishing. They check a lot of
Yeah,
it goes through a lot of stuff, grammar,
correct,
plagiarism, and all that stuff. And especially with
correct,
ChatGPT now, they're more strict than ever before.
correct. Yeah,
But yeah, we have always if there's someone's using ChatGPT and all, we always call them up and we tell them the right way to do it. But never mind, Savanan, let's get to the business. Today, you're going to talk about Azure IoT, right?
yeah.
Feel free to go ahead and share your screen and then we can get started. And for everyone who's watching, if you have any questions related to Azure IoT or even IoT channel, please feel free to go ahead and drop your question in the comment section box, and we're gonna pick it towards the end of the show. Um,
Is
yeah,
my
that
screen is
is it.
visible actually?
No, not at the moment. Not on my end. If I say it, I'll add it to the stream.
Okay.
Still waiting. You need to click on
Now it's
yeah, it's coming up. It's
yeah.
coming up. It's coming up. Yeah, you are inside the stream right now. Once you are in the presentation. I've added
Okay.
your stream. All right, Seven. Next 35, 40 minutes or whatever you want is all yours.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, yeah, Simon, for giving me this new opportunity, and thank you, CSharp, Corner, Nagesh, and everyone actually for giving me this opportunity to present this topic in front of everyone during this evening. Okay, actually, today the topic is like actually how an artificial intelligence can make a difference in the field of IoT. That means transforming your devices into intelligent assets. Actually, okay. So it's actually I have been working on this part of development for past 7 to 8 years actually. So I want to share my experience and what kind of architectures we have been followed in this period of time, and then actually what kind of approaches we have been done to make a device the assets ordinary devices into an intelligent device assets, and what kind of use cases we have been going to do like that and all. Actually, we are going to see in this particular show actually. Okay. So if you have any queries related to the slides or architectures which I'm going to share, actually you can feel free to ask questions, and I can explain you further more informative on the part as well actually. So going to my next slide about me, actually, I also I've been having some 10 years of experience in the information technology field. I've been predominantly working on IoT related the projects that I've been specialized into both OT and IT. Actually, OT means actually operational technology, and IT means information technology. Both the combination of these products in IoT, and I've been predominantly working on it. And from past 6 to 7 years, I've been working on Azure IoT services only. There's these services like Azure IoT Hub, Azure IoT Edge, Event Hub, and then like Azure Machine Learning, and then nowadays we have been started working on Azure OpenAI Studio as well. Actually, so all these services I have been worked in this entire 10 years actually. And apart from this, if you see actually, I have been awarded as CSharpCorner MVP recently by CSharpCorner team. And David, thank you and glad for that. Actually, it's been a pleasure for me to get this prestigious award from a prestigious community which I have been following for a decade now. Okay, and then actually, if you see, I also been I'm doing mentoring for many people during some hackathons and during this Smart India time. If you see actually in this uh, the hackathon for Smart Indian hackathon, which has happened recently. Also, I've been mentoring a team and guiding them to in their projects, and also I've been a global speaker. I have been speaking all over the communities, as Simon mentioned, regarding IoT and Azure related services. And also, if you see, I have been recently now as a top voice in Internet of Things by LinkedIn actually. So I've been a collaborative posting and contributing to the articles as well actually to get those tags actually basically for my 10 years of work. So this is what about me actually, and you can find my profile of LinkedIn profile about by using handle name plus Saravanan Ganesan in LinkedIn actually. Okay, so let's move on to our session. Actually, I want to start from basic, like what is an IoT? Okay, it's been a bit because usually if I go for any advanced topics, also I used to tell this slide, and then only I need to. I will actually interested to go for another slides as well. Actually, so what is an IoT means? Actually, it's a kind of connecting a device to the internet is called IoT. Actually, making that device to be a smarter one, and it also needs to send the data continuously to the internet is called an IoT. Okay, usually n number of devices can be connected and they are interconnected over internet. Actually, will be coined also will be coining as a term called Internet of Things. Okay, so usually the assets which have been connected or interconnected by means of internet in this ecosystem are called as things actually. Okay, which can generate data. These things are nothing but the IoT devices actually, which have been as the sensors or the gateways, which have been continuously sending the data here actually to via these things. And actually, these things only actually will send the data to your any on-prem database center or any cloud-based actually platforms to get the insights of the particular generated data, and from there actually the data will be coined for some actions like visualization or dashboard creation to represent the data to the end user. So this is how the IoT term has been coined by me. We use using these three words called things, insights, and actions. Actually, generate data, get the insights based upon the generate data, and also after getting the insights, put those processed data for actions in a dashboard. Actually, okay, so this is called an IoT. So if this is called an IoT means actually what kind of devices we have in IoT actually. We have two types of devices in IoT called IP enabled devices and IP not non-IP enabled devices. But nowadays actually if you see we have been most around using IP enabled devices so that only we can able to connect those big devices to the internet bindings of some protocols like MQTT, MQP, HTTP, etc. So if you see actually nowadays in market actually if guys have been seeing that we have some more IoT devices like Raspberry Pi, Arduino, and then Intel's boards for development purposes has also been released actually. But from the production point of view or from the industry point of view, if you see actually we have been using some powerful engage related gateways actually. Okay, again coming into this point actually, what is meant to be an edge gateway? The edge gateway is a powerful device which will be sending the data from your collecting the data from your things, and then it will be pushing it to the cloud by after doing some after doing some processing and all actually. So this is called the edge gateways. Edge gateways are very powerful and it's been running around for it contains around 1 TB of storage and 64 GB of 64 GB of RAM, etc. Actually, okay. So in that case, actually, if you see, this gateways now has been classified into two things. One is actually open source gateway and the closed gateway actually. So open source gateway means actually the gateway which is running Unix based or Linux based platforms, and closed gateway means they will be having their own predefined platforms which have been written in their firmwares and all actually. So this is about the overall things like what kind of devices we have been using in IoT and what is IoT. So before entering into this Lambda architecture, actually, I hope so. This slide has been is clear for everyone here. And then, if you move on to Azure Lambda architecture, actually, if you see here, this is a bigger architecture actually, where we have IoT edge devices and device provisioning will be falling under our things. And then this part actually, the cloud gateway will be act as a the gateway to send the data to your cloud-based services for data processing, and then from there the data will be moved to your warm pod store, cold pod store, then to machine learning, and then for data visualization actions as well. Actually, so this is the entire architecture which we have been using, and this is the structure of the architecture. Whatever might be on IoT, the projects. This is the core subsystem of our IoT the architecture platform, where we will have IoT edge devices under things, and we have actually under the insights all the cloud related components will be there, and under actions we have all the business integration tools and visualization tools will be fall under this action related tech categories actually. So this is the overview of a Lambda Azure Lambda architecture. Okay, and then actually if you see, I will be explaining it in each and everything, because in this we have the warm pod store and cold pod store. So if you see here actually, when a data flows from a IoT edge devices, it are devices actually, it will be moving towards a cloud gateway, which is a IoT hub. In IoT hub actually it's nothing but actually it's a kind of a gateway which in Azure, which allows data from this edge devices to be called into it by means of MQTT protocol. Okay, so from here actually what's happening means actually we got the data from these edge devices, and it's not for these edge devices the data may be falling from some other sensors or any what to do actually just some other sensors or any kind of some other sensors or any kind of what are the actually the assets or anything will be sending the data to its IoT edge devices. From edge devices, it will be moving to your Azure IoT hub. From there, actually, data has been sent to some processing area called stream processing or the data transformation kind of thing. For this data transformation, we have two types of things. One is called the warm pod store, and another one is called cold pod store. Actually, okay. So we will be next seeing about what is warm pod store and how the data transformation has been happening in this warm pod store. Actually, so in this warm pod store, once the data has been came here, it will be entering into some layers called speed layer. What is the speed layer means actually? This warm pod will only works with it will be used only for the streaming streaming based processes actually. So yeah, for example, streaming data. For example, if I want to show something realistic to my client actually or to my project owner actually, so I need to show some data has to be flow in a streaming manner. That for example, the speedometer of my vehicle actually it should show actually the data which is streaming from it in a real-time manner actually. So in that case, if you see, these are the components which I have been using here actually called event analytics services, and then it will be go for warm storage actually. So this is about the norm path actually. Warm part is always also called as this speed layer actually. And then if you see for cold part actually, here the same data will be coming and it will be going to event hub, and it goes to time series data, but it will be coming from the Azure storage, which is a batch layer actually. It's here the blob, the data which is processed here will be stored here in Azure storage as a what it will actually as a in a blob manner. From this actually it will be moving in some batch wise to your Azure machine learning or some other services. So this is the thing between the difference between your warm posture and cold posture, where warm posture will be handling your streaming data and cold posture will be handling your historian data actually, so that based upon your business integration or based upon your business needs actually, this data should be classified accordingly. Okay, and then if you see here actually, this is a visualization part. Once this data from this batch layer or sticky layer and other data processing has been happened here, that the data will be moving towards the analytics layer actually, where we have some visualization tools called Power BI, also Big Data Explorer and all actually. So this entire thing like a warm part, cold part, visualization, and then actually if you see Azure this the business integration part, all these things are combined together here in a simple diagram called is called the lambda architecture actually. So here only the things the three things has been combined, and things, insights, and actions will be combined accordingly. Their services also um, shown here to explain each and every operations carried out in each and every phase of the uh, architecture for of the lambda architecture. Okay. Now, actually, this is a simple example which have been taken here. Actually, if you see, so if you see here, actually, it's a kind of architecture with all the service name mentioned actually, so that it will be easy for you guys to understand actually what is what actually. So if you see here actually data from my IoT streaming data source like connected fleets, vehicles, connected manufacturing facilities. From here, the data is now flowing into a IoT. This part is called the things, and this part is now sending the data to the Azure IoT hub or event hub, and from there it is going to the BOM part is called the stream processing, and another set of data is going to Azure Data Explorer and Data Lake for your the Dutch processing. From here, actually, if you see the data will be moving towards your analytics and ML based services as well. Actually, okay. So if you see here, actually, this part, if you see, actually, like it's a sort of it's a kind of where your smart assets will be coming into action. So because you're using the smart the data which you are getting here, actually, accordingly the things will be trained, and then actually it will be sent to the Azure ML. So the models of the data which we got from the Azure Data Explorer will be trained here accordingly, and it, based upon the models, actually each things will be aligned based upon the use case for a customer. For example, for a particular customer, they want to check only the battery level of the particular vehicle. So for that action, they need to implement some smart idea related thing to the battery module alone, actually, by means of getting the data and cleaning the data accordingly. So based upon each and everything, it will be diverse for us. And then actually from here, actually the data will be moving towards an analytical custom app, Power BI, Grafana, Logic app, and then the analytical Azure Data Explorer, WI, and all actually it's been moving. So these things are nothing but insights where your application things will come in, application insights will come into the action. So this is the overall architecture of Azure IoT, where which components we can be able to see what is happening inside there actually. Okay, so this is the flow how the data flows into your Azure IoT architecture. So before going into next slide, actually, I want to show you. Yeah, this is an Azure portal, but there we have actually we have been creating on actually the what it is actually the source code, and I can show you what are the different components we have here. And we have Azure IoT Hub device provisioning services, and we have Azure IoT Hub itself actually. If you see here. And getting it means actually it will be asking actually which location and which time, which kind of subscription you want to go, and which is a resource group like that and all. So based upon if this insurance, actually, if I'm creating one example, IoT hub means actually taking it for a free tire. Okay, and then because the kind of cost also involved here actually. So if you while creating a Azure IoT hub, actually we will be need to choose a tire actually based upon your data and needs actually. If you see here, actually, these are the uh, costings available for each day. It's actually 4 lakhs messages per day actually. In this tire called actually the daily message limit of 4 lakhs, actually we have been charging of around 2000 rupees. So based upon your data needs, also your cost also will increase accordingly, and based upon that only your tire also of your IoT also will get increased actually. Okay, so now I am actually going for networking tab. If you see, we can also choose that whether our IoT app should be a public access or private access. And then actually, if you see, whether the TLS version should be 1.0, 1.2, like that. And then if you go from management, actually, it's for this data access policy when you have been taking it for some the access, and then if I require any device updates or anything like that, actually. Was here actually where I need to check. And then the tags, and I need to review plus create. If I creating it, it will create my IoT hub in my particular resource group, which I've been choosing here actually. So meanwhile, it's getting deployed actually. I will be showing you something here actually. This is similar to just given by Raspberry Pi actually, which will be sending you a continuous data temperature data to IoT hub actually. Okay, so if you see here, actually Raspberry Pi has been connected with some sensors here actually, like a temperature sensor actually, it will be sending the temperature and humidity of actually of from the sensor of your environment actually, and then based upon that actually data will be flowing here to your IoT hub actually. Okay, so before going into this actually, this is a code which they have been written in Node.js. Okay, so here actually I need to give a appropriate IoT hub connection string which I have been using, and I also need to give the device ID which from which I'm going to send the data. So I need to change these two values here actually, because why I am changing these two values means then only my device here actually will have a handshake with my IoT hub actually. If these two the data is not correct, the handshake of my IoT hub with my Raspberry Pi will not happen. So if you see here actually my deployment is still under process, but once the deployment is over, I will show you various options available in IoT hub. Okay, so till now, any queries, guys? Actually, till deployment, getting oh, it's in progress.
Sarvanan.
Any queries we got, Stephen?
Not at the moment, Sarvanan.
Okay, okay, that's great. It takes some time for deployment, and once the deployment is over, actually, we can go ahead and see how the data flow is happening here. Actually, so if you actually before doing it here, actually, okay. Before doing it here actually, we have some inputs, outputs, and all will be here actually. So we can also we need to create two more services actually. I'm creating a storage account, okay, which will be created here. Okay, my resource got created here actually. Okay, if you see here, um, this is my IoT hub got it deployed now actually. Okay, so once my IoT hub got deployed here actually, okay, so I can see actually what is my messages used today, and what is the daily photo of my message, and how many IoT devices have been created here. I'm just sending the data here, and I can also see in this graph how many number of new messages I have been used for today in particular actually. Okay, so this is the one actually. Okay, and then if you see, um, then if you see actually here, I need to create a storage account, and then one more thing also I need to create a given tab also I need to create it actually. So I'm creating a storage account for demo storage. So meanwhile I'm explaining the IoT hub, it will be getting created actually. So I'm doing it now. So it's getting reviewed, and once the final then validation is completed, actually it will be creating that storage account for us. Okay, so if I'm going here, okay, so I will be explaining what is an IoT hub here actually. Okay, so in this page actually, if you see the IoT hub which I created have some sections called device management, and also we have the access control management from my team actually who can have access to this IoT hub, and also actually we have option for message routing. Message routing is nothing but it's a very interesting topic actually, that how the data from this devices are routed to from IoT hub to different these services of Azure actually. Okay, and then also if we have some things called alerts and monitoring and all, we have actually if any issues have we need to confirm one different IoT is nothing but a service introduced by Microsoft to guide to know actually how secure the data. If you want to fight any security threats on your IoT, or if you enable it, it will give started giving all the validation data in that part actually. So this is what I think, and the most probably we are going to see these two things only actually here in device management. Device management in IoT hub is nothing but actually it shows which kind of devices we are actually creating in the IoT hub, and then actually and how they are being authenticated with uh, the IoT hub by means of the physical device actually. So if I'm creating a device here actually for a sample one, I'm creating as a demo device 123 like that actually. It's a device ID of mine, and I need to check whether it's IoT edge device or device. If I want to run any type of AI based solutions, or I want to do any data processing in my device, means I need to create an IoT edge device. If not, if I want to redirect only the data from my device to my IoT hub, actually simply we can create a big device in IoT hub fashion actually. Okay, so I created a symmetric key authentication, and if you see we also have a X5 and X5 TA saying the certificates also, and so once it is completely connected, this device are enabled and we saving it means this device will be created here actually. Demo device I want to, and if I go inside this, I can able to see there are some dynamic connection tree will be there for this particular device, and secondary connection keys will be there for this particular device actually. So these things are daily important and sensitive as well actually. Okay, so now I'm giving my device ID to here actually, which I have been created this Raspberry Pi simulator actually, which needs to send the data for me to my IoT hub actually. So I am actually giving a demo device 123 here, and then actually I've been giving a primary connection string of my device, or we can also give the connection string of my IoT hub. Okay, so if we have a primary connection string of an IoT hub here actually. Okay, I am giving this thing here. Okay, so I'm start to send the data. So since I've done some mistake, actually sending the connection string is missing the property device ID. So what we need to do, we need to give it device ID also in our connection string actually. Okay, so if you go here, if I click my device which I haven't created, I need to give the connection string of this one, and then I need to replace the one here. So I pasted it here, and now I am starting to run the data, my simulator. So once my simulator start running, you can see it here. We have a JSON format here actually. What kind of from here actually the message and everything will start sending here actually. So if you see here, so this is the data which I'm getting from my device for the particular device ID which I have been set up. Okay, so message ID, device ID, and temperature and humidity, which shows the whatever data which is coming here will be now will be visible in your IoT hub. So if you see here, it will be slowly started sending that message used to verify and this thing. Actually, later this graph will slowly show n number of devices, and also it will try to refresh the IoT devices count also here actually. So now we are once we got the data here in our IoT hub actually, we need to redirect this data or route this data to some storage account or somewhere, because from there only we can make use of this data for any further processing called data processing or something. And so that data can be utilized by our Azure OpenAI and anything actually, any services of Azure to make some intelligent what it is, the intelligent outcome of the assets actually. So that's how our device also will be converted as smart asset by implementing some use cases related to that actually. Okay, so if you see here, I'm loading this data to my storage account actually. Okay, so if you see here, there's an option called message route. I'm adding endpoint should be your storage. Before doing this actually, I want to know actually what's the situation of my storage account. Once my storage account is created here actually, okay, I need to check. I need to create a container inside my storage account, then only my data will start flowing into it. I am giving any name, I should demo container kind of, and it should be a public one. As of now it is a public one actually. It's not available, but it should be a public one. So they have any, it doesn't have any access for it actually. So I'm going ahead with the same actually. So my the container will be created here. Once I route my container to here means actually the data will start flowing actually from my IoT hub to here. So I'm giving the endpoint as storage endpoint container. This is a container here. Then batch frequency here, and we have two types of encodings here, Avro or JSON. We are always going for a JSON based approach because we can it's the easiest format of data gettability that's actually. And then I'm waiting to create test next actually. So once my route is completed, after 3 to 4 minutes actually my data will be getting. See if this is a route test. Okay, and then actually it will ask me for device limited, and it has data source as a n number of options, but we are going for device limited visit, and we have routing query. What is the role of a routing query? Means now I am transferring all the data whichever I am using from my device to my IoT hub and then to my storage. But if I want to transfer only a temperature value which is going above the threshold which I set, means here I need to write some routing queries stating that if my the value of my temperature is more than 70 or 80 actually, which is higher than my threshold what is set, then only actually that particular data only will be moved to my storage account actually. So that is the purpose of routing query. For some filtering purposes it will be used actually. So create plus skip enrichments and giving, and so it will be creating my route now. So once this is done, after 3 to 4 minutes, I need to see the data there. Once the data is there, means actually we go for it in the next session. Okay. No, everything is fine, and I have a route as well, and I have a custom endpoint here. Actually, if I go and see a storage, there will be a custom endpoint here actually. Okay. So this is the data we have. So till now, I have one IoT device and 58 messages has been received actually. Okay, so once this is done, I need to check my storage account container. Take some time for to get the data there. Okay, so once the data comes here, we before that actually this is a setup of how we need to get the data from a device here actually, and then actually to send the data to an IoT app, and then from the IoT app to your storage account actually. So this is a simple flow actually which have been created here. So once this is done, that some data will be flowing here in the form of folders. So using this data, I need to convert my ordinary my asset into a smart asset actually. So here actually I'm going to use some AI related stuffs actually where the data which are I'm getting. For example, actually, I want to create a chatbot using my Azure OpenAI and GPT 3.5 or GPT 4 means actually. This is a sample architecture which I have got for you. For example, I am getting the data from Azure IoT app, and then actually I am putting this data into a human readable form called PDF or text, because actually Azure OpenAI still now the JSON structure is not supported. So I'm putting in a human readable form of text like notepad, or actually if you see actually I can put it to values in text format or PDF format, anything actually, and from then actually the data will be flowing into your the data which is collected from our what it will actually the IoT hub and everything actually will be available there. So based upon these use cases, like we have some not asset use cases also here actually, like predictive maintenance, precision farming, smart grids, bin monitoring, water safety management system. So based upon these asset use cases actually, you need to actually prepare your own data which we got from your Azure services like storage account or anywhere, or from Azure ML, and train their models. And from there, actually, if you feed the data to this Azure OpenAI, means you will be creating a own chat GPT for your organization actually, so that making your asset a very valuable smart asset, so that actually it will be easy for us to do a predict. So we will actually go ahead with each and every topic here. Actually, what is predictive maintenance means actually, yes, an asset can able to predict its maintenance based upon the data which is collected in the past, and this data has been processed further by using a GPT based LLM models, and it will give some exact values if you feed it into it organization maintain the chat portal. And then regarding a forming actually, for example, actually if I want to yield get more yield out of my field, or if I want to get suggestion from my chatbot based upon the climatic conditions, or my stand nature actually, I can be able to give some direct things to based on that I can collect the data in the form of text or PDF, whichever there in my, because in my storage account you can see actually only the JSON related data will be there actually, whichever we got from an IoT hub, it's a stored in our storage account. So that data has to be transformed into some format which will be accepted by the Azure OpenAI, and from there it needs to be fed into chatbot of Azure OpenAI, which can be used for this use cases called precision farming, smart grids, bin monitoring, and the worker safety management system actually. So question farming will have data related to, or we can also ask our chatbot which are related to which kind of crops I can put, or how much yield I will get based upon inputs which have been fed into my LLM models actually, and then smart grids actually, and then bin monitoring. If you see how much of the garbage is today I got, and if we level up the garbage beyond the threshold value, it will give a alert system to my the ward counselor or everyone to get alerted regarding a particular bin value. Every time the overflow of garbage is happening in that particular area only actually. So based upon some images using GPT-4, in this case also we can make it possible for using the OpenAI. And then worker safety management. So what is worker safety management system? Means in a particular area, the workers has to follow some compliances of wearing a helmet, jackets, gloves, and all to work safety in their environment. So to monitor to them also, this LLM-based images will be captured. These images of them will be captured and trained in LLM-based and to be trained as in LLM models, and then it will be feeding the data to the system or the visualization part to make it visible to the our what it will actually our the in charge who is taking care of this entire complaints of worker safety actually. So this is asked about some of the use cases where we can use AI in our smart some of use cases in the IoT building where we can use the AI so that actually you can make your ordinary asset into a smart asset actually. So if you see, we have covered almost all the domains here, like all the domains here, like actually manufacturing, agriculture, energy management, and then actually sustainability management, and then if you also mean actually seeing this safety management kind of things here actually. Okay, so this is how the based upon the previous architectures actually we can make our ordinary asset or device, IoT device, into a smart one actually by using the means of AI related services and IoT related services in Azure environment. Yeah, that's it from my side. Actually, I haven't completed my session. Actually, if the guys have any queries or anything, if you guys want to ask me, so you can go ahead and ask.
Wow, Savanan, you said it's gonna be 30 minutes, but you rocked on for about like 50 minutes. That was a lot of details in just one demo. I
Yeah,
mean, to be honest, it went over my head, but I really felt like when you showed Raspberry Pi online, all that stuff, where you can just do everything online. You don't have to own one. I think
correct. Yeah.
fritzing is something that even I used it long time back. I remember I used fritzing to create circuit designs and with Arduino. It started with Arduino, then I moved to Raspberry Pi. So I really loved it. Savnan, quick question from my end, right? For someone who's getting started with whatever you have showed today, what are some of the pitfalls or some of the challenges one will face? I mean, let's say you're starting with whatever Azure IoT or whatever. What are some of the problems or challenges you have faced, which you would like to share with viewers so that it will be easy for them?
Okay, actually, yeah, first of all, if you see, IoT is a combination of both your devices and your cloud platform or your on-prem data centers only, actually. Okay, so regarding the device-based issues with whichever we are feeling means actually a person who is going to start an IoT related activities means actually he or she should be good enough to know about the communication protocols which will be sending the data from your devices to the cloud actually, like MQTT, AMQP, HTTP, and HTTPS. So if you know very well about these communication protocols, you need to write a program in your IoT device, like which we've done in our Raspberry Pi. Actually, we have some Node.js program, yeah, which I have been showing you guys actually. So that actually I've been used an MQTT based the MQTT gives actually the protocols to send the data in the form of a JSON. Actually, we see here actually I've been sending the data in the form of the JSON in these methods. Once my authentication is completed by means of MQTT from this MQTT, and if you want to use other protocols also AMQP, HTTP, accordingly based upon your use case and device which you are going to use, because this is a simple Raspberry Pi. But in industry level, actually, if you see industry point of view or industry standards in a bigger edge gateway, actually, if you want to do these things, actually, you need to go ahead with some latest protocols called MQTT version 5.0, where it has been good for the industry standards of transferring millions of data per taken from around n number of assets which are there in your particular shop floor or anywhere actually. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
so based upon your use case, you need to take and what kind of challenges your particular person will face here means they doesn't know what kind of programming language they want to use it here. But because I am getting this query every time from the people, sir, if I want to become an IoT engineer, what kind of programming language I need to learn? There is no barrier for programming language actually to become an IoT engineer. Actually, you can learn any programming language like C, C++. Also, you can learn using C, C++. Also, I have written a lot of codes which are related to the embedded softwares and all actually to make a device to send the data to an IoT hub actually. So any programming language, most programming nowadays people are started using Python, but .NET is a very powerful language actually, which is actually used to CSharp. Using it is using a CSharp programming language, which have all
Mm-hmm.
kinds of things actually, the modules which are relevant to your Azure ecosystem, so it will be easy for the people to start as well. So this is what the people usually faces some issues which programming language and how much data I need to send to the cloud, like that they used to have actually. So we can overcome all these things by means of in making themselves involved in some do it yourself projects like this, like sending a data of IoT data of temperature sensor using Raspberry Pi to make cloud, like that. They need to do some hands-on, and they also need to understand what what is between a difference between a microprocessor and a microcontroller actually, and which thing they need to use it for the project, because the same project we can execute using um, Arduino Uno as well actually. But the difference between these two boards was actually Raspberry Pi is having a microprocessor, but Arduino is only having a microcontroller, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which can be actually flashed or actually every time actually. Okay, so but here in Raspberry Pi we no need to flash anything. It will be like a single board computer. When coming to a cloud point of view, actually the subscription really matters for everyone to start the things actually. So if a person is a student, or if they're pursuing their in actually college things actually, or they're into school means actually, Microsoft offering them a student-based subscription actually. So in the student-based subscription, if you see, they will be having wide variety of free services will be available actually. If you see here, if I choose this subscription, we'll be having free. Everything will be free here actually. There won't be any cost will be involved actually, but the person who wants to apply for this actually, they need to have a valid organization, college organization email IDs, and their photo ID cards of it particular colleges as well actually, and they will be given $300. So once this subscription they got actually, they need to explore what is an IoT hub actually. For this we have n number of articles and n number of learning courses available in our Microsoft Learn actually. Earlier there was a Microsoft certification also available. It was in this June 2023 only they have been detailed certification AZ220, which is a complete packed solution certification for an IoT engineer who wants to learn Azure with IoT actually. But for some big reasons, they have been deprecated that examination. Now actually they have been moving or combining these things into a AI-related certifications in the future. So in from cloud point of view, what will be the challenges means actually the person should know what is cloud computing first of all, and then actually he also understand actually that what are the basics of cloud computing, like and what are the basic services available in the Azure, and what are the terms and terminologies they have been used in Azure. So if they are predominantly well known about those things means actually, and these things they can easily achieve it by doing some hands-on stuffs actually. So these are some challenges people will face in the part of cloud and the device part actually say.
Well, that was a lot of challenges, to be honest. Oh my goodness, you scared me. But never mind. I think everyone who has watched this live stream and will be watching this live stream when it's available on YouTube to rewatch it, I think everyone will love it because Sabanan, you have covered a lot. You started from very basics and you talked about what is Azure IoT, then you moved to giving a demo on Azure along with your some virtual boats that you had. So I think it was a power packed performance, and I think it's time we wrap it up because we already have 55 minutes. Any final thing you want to say before we wrap up the show?
Yeah, actually, I want to thank Bishop Corner and you for giving up me this wonderful opportunity to present this topic here and here actually. And moreover, I also want to tell the thing called actually. people who are watching or you want to become an IoT engineer, actually, it's a right time, because now in AI has been came inside into each and every domains of the each and every sector, so that actually when you combining these devices now along with the AI, actually it will be, your devices will be daily talking with some
Mm-hmm.
useful use cases, which will reduce a lot of losses for the manufacturing industry, logistics industries and all, and it will gain some more advantages for them to improve their productivity, actually. So it's better, actually, it's a right time for everyone to learn IoT and come up with those hands-on ideas, actually, in that part.
All right, Savan, thank you so much. I know it's getting all very late. It's 9:30 p.m. and I'll leave
Yeah,
you along with your really nice, beautiful house that you have in the background. Uh,
yeah,
thank you so much, Savan, and we love having you in the community. Thanks for all that you do for the community, and we'll see you maybe in person at the next year's conference. And until then, take good care of yourself. Thank you so much, everyone,
yeah,
for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode of the C Sharp Connect Show.
yeah.
Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye bye. Thank you, Simon. Bye. Take care.